All right, fuck it. We're early. We're a little early. Welcome to like no one. So it's 7 o'clock, Monday, June 23rd. Got some stuff to talk about. Ooh, we just got some fun news.
Lots of news.
Ceasefire. That's cool.
Just happened minutes ago.
Minutes.
I believe.
You heard it here first.
Because we were going to talk about the attacks.
Yeah.
And how we were going to war.
Now we'll talk a little bit about it, but
peace.
now we're going to peace. So what's up, Joe? On time is early. There you go, buddy.
Time is early.
So we're going to talk about the ceasefire, obviously. Then we're going to talk about polite war. So what's this whole new thing with polite war and letting your enemy know that you're going to be attacking a facility or something like that? I think it's
Excuse me, fellas. I'm going to be launching some missiles
Hello.
your way.
Hello, I'd like to let you know that we will be throwing 14 bombs at you. Good luck to you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. So we'll be talking about that. We're going to talk about Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv, there is so much misinformation out there, or maybe correct information, not sure, about it being destroyed.
The city?
Yeah, like there's so much, like you get all these different, I guess probably Iranian supporters that are saying, oh, Tel Aviv's been,
Did any of the missile strikes hit a
They
city?
did hit, actually. There's some blown up apartment buildings and stuff.
But were they actually apartment buildings? Because like that's one of the things that people are saying is they're using some of these structures. So it's like, is it kind of random, like they're throwing missiles at a city and it's hitting buildings, or is it a little bit more calculated and they're hitting certain buildings that are being used?
Yeah,
'cause that's what they do in Gaza. They use hospitals and stuff and schools as like places to, I don't know, do war stuff.
Do war stuff.
Do terrorist stuff.
So we'll play a video that kind of shows the bullshit behind that. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but we'll talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about the fact that no one's having babies. We're actually going to react to a Tim Pool clip.
If we have time too, we can skip forward about like 10 minutes because Mary said something awesome that I was telling you about the other night. we can listen to that.
Yeah, we'll spend a little time on that. Also, we're gonna play a nice, funny little video from Clown World, which I love, about an ugly, delusional woman. It's pretty cool. It's about a minute, and we'll give her the necessary ribbings that she deserves for posting such a stupid thing. And if we have time, we'll end off on Caleb Hammer. If you don't know who he is, he's got a TikTok and a YouTube channel, and
his clips do well.
His clips do very well. He basically tries to help people get out of debt, but he's like, he's a little boisterous and
does it in podcast format.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. So we'll play one where he's spazzing out. Pretty funny. If you're not yet a subscriber to the channel, do subscribe, please. Pretty please. Just show us that this channel isn't dead. We're not sure. We're not sure if this channel.
You're not sure. I'm pretty sure.
He's pretty sure, but I don't know. Like, it shows glimmers of life, but sometimes, what's up there, Robert? Sometimes I'm not sure. So it's been dead at 427 on the subs for a little while, and the analytics are a little low. I don't know. So we'll see. Because if that's the case, we might just jump ship and go to another channel.
Slowly.
Yeah, I mean,
give all you guys who are here time.
Well, you guys will know, like, for sure. You guys are going to jump right on.
We have a couple weeks too before. It's not like it's not like we'll say today that we have a new channel and then and then there's a new channel. It'll be we'll maybe for a while, like I said before, we'll do the live streams on this channel and then post the clips to the other channel.
Yeah, and then see how that works.
Yeah.
But so we'll see how that goes. But if you do like the channel, that's the way to support it. Definitely subscribe. Look for the videos. Look for clips during the week. I drop them between Tuesday and Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can like, share, post, or comment on those. Comments are huge. So say something. Joe's very good for that. Thanks, Joe. I know you comment on stuff decently often. So, and you're always in the chat. So, got to thank you for that too. But so if you like the podcast, that's the way. That's obviously the way to do it. All right, let's get on it, guys. Bob, Joe, Bob, Jimbo. Okay, let's transition over to this. Boom, boom, bada boom, boom. So it's here, ceasefire, the longest war in history.
Yeah,
but hey, shit, man. Trump. I think Trump's just showing off now.
I mean, I think he knows how to negotiate.
I think this is like,
I think
these are fun flexes.
He knows when he has to show strength, and then he knows how to leverage that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you have to, sometimes you got to do something, and then, you know, then people know you're serious. And,
Yeah. Well, I'm going to read this. This is his post on X here. This is the White House, the official White House channel or whatever you want to call it on X. But this is what Trump had to say. He said, "Congratulations to everyone. It has been fully agreed by and between Israel and Iran that there will be a complete and total ceasefire. In approximately 6 hours from now, when Israel and Iran have wound down and completed their in-progress final missions," which is kind of funny. Like, hey, look, we got a mission, okay? Like, we didn't get dressed up for nothing, okay? We're going to do this one last one, and then we're done. For 12 hours, at which point the war will be considered ended officially. Iran will start the ceasefire, and upon the 12th hour, Israel will start the ceasefire. And upon the 24th hour, an official end to the 12-day war will be saluted by the world. During each ceasefire, the other side will remain peaceful and respectful. On the assumption that everything works out as it should, which it will, I would like to congratulate both countries, Israel and Iran, on having the stamina, courage, and intelligence to end what should be called the 12-day war. This is a war that could have gone on for years and destroyed the entire Middle East, but it didn't. And never will God bless Israel.
It didn't and never will.
I never will. Sorry. God bless Israel. Hard for me to read small. God bless Iran, God bless the Middle East, and God bless the United States of America, and God bless the world. Oh, that's so inclusive. Thanks,
Donald
Trump.
J. Trump, President of the United States of America.
In capitals. All caps. So, yeah, he's obviously, this is a real brag for him, which is good. I mean, hey, you know, he did something. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it's real, if it's going to last or what,
yeah,
but
we'll see.
We'll see. I don't know. Like, these kinds of things are weird when they flare up so fast and then they go away so fast.
I think it might be good though, because it's almost like a pressure release, just like a little bit of tss,
yeah,
and then the things cool off a little bit. There's not so much pressure anymore.
Right. Let's see. Look, Joe just said we acknowledge him. I've always acknowledged you, Joe. Of course.
Sometimes you got interesting things to say too. So
he definitely does. He's like, he used to be Tyler when Tyler wasn't here. He would say stuff that I'd be like, oh shit, I don't know if I can read that. Congrats, you are famous hereabouts. Appreciate that, brother. Anyways, yeah. So I mean, hey, I think this is how I think of Trump. I think Trump does things. I think he kind of pre-calculates, and every once in a while he gets, you know, he thinks of a thing's going to happen a certain way, and he gets, you know, surprised it doesn't happen the way he wants it to happen, I guess. But I think this one was probably calculated, and it probably went pretty much the way he wanted it to go, right? You know, if this works, if it's actually a full-on ceasefire, and you know, and if those bunker busters actually worked.
Yeah, I think the plan was to show force.
Yeah,
because at the very least they did damage, and no Americans died. I don't think any American equipment really got destroyed, because they said they shot 14 missiles at the U.S. base, and they knocked down 13 of them, and one of them wasn't really going anywhere.
Yeah, we're actually going to talk about that a little bit. So that's probably a pretty decent segue into that. I'm going to stop this one here, but let me pop that up. So this is the BBC. So here's what Tyler was just talking about here. So there was an attack on a Qatar base run by the U.S.
A U.S. base in Qatar.
Yeah. So here's what they're saying here. What you were just talking about. Where is it? Because there's conflicting things. It says there are differing reports about how many missiles were fired.
Oh, okay.
Iran said 6.
Trump made a post that said 14.
Yeah.
And
so the U.S. says 14, and Qatar is reported by Reuters as saying 19. All of which it added were intercepted. But then Trump said one wasn't. They let one.
Yeah, it wasn't going. It wasn't really going in a threatening direction, so they just kind of let it fly off.
So it says in the hours before the attack, both the U.S. and UK had advised its citizens in Qatar to shelter in place. About 8,000 U.S. citizens live in Qatar, according to the State Department. And apparently, according to Trump as well, they actually gave them a heads up. They let the U.S. know that they were going to throw.
There was a warning that they were going to make a strike.
Which is very funny to me that we live in this
That's how we do war now.
Yeah, like doing polite war seems to be like the new thing now.
Yeah, well, I guess it does make sense because it's killing a bunch of people doesn't really accomplish anything unless the conflict is at such a point that you really need that shock factor and that emotion behind it. Like, no, we're just gonna kill a bunch of your people. But when it's kind of like this was, where it's maybe escalating and it's tit for tat, it makes sense. Like, yeah, we don't really need to kill anybody. We maybe want to take out certain targets, like, missile silos and stuff. Any kind of equipment that they might think is a risk to them, but you don't necessarily want to kill people.
See, that's what I think too. It's like, I don't see the point at all in taking human life if you can go after all of the assets.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Joe just said, wait, we shot a missile and we're like, yeah, it will land. No, Iran launched 14 missiles at the base. The U.S. knocked down 13 of them. And they let one of them go because the trajectory wasn't going to hit anything. Right. So they didn't shoot it down.
So why waste?
It's implied that they could have shot it down.
Yeah. Why waste any ammunition?
He's basically saying we shut down 14 of them. Yeah. And or 13 of them.
What about that one that got away?
We totally could have shot that down, but we didn't need to. So
but Johnny was on the gun, and Johnny might have been a little hungover.
We totally could have shot that one down.
Johnny was like,
we didn't want to.
We call him cross-eyed Johnny. He was aiming for it, but I think his right eye was looking at it, and his left eye was looking at something else. So we could have totally shot it down, but we didn't. It's fine. There's my bad Trump for you here.
There was a beautiful Qatari lady walking by, all covered up.
Yeah, but I could totally see her under her eyes there. I could totally see it. A little bit of her cheekbone.
What a
It was
slut.
so sexy. There was so much of it. Why am I talking like Trump still? That was Johnny. That was supposed to be Johnny. What were you saying about what? Anyways. Yeah. So, I don't know. I lost my train there. Too much Trump. But yeah. So, hey, we know that there's a ceasefire anyway. So now it's like, I guess this was all just like fun playing war. And polite
This is
at
kind
time.
of what led to the ceasefire. I mean, it could have been the fact that, that's why it's like blowing off steam. Like, Iran gets to shoot their missiles off, so you get that outward aggression, and then they also get to see that none of them actually hit their target because they just shot them all down, and they're like, oh, okay, maybe that's interesting.
Yeah.
So then maybe they're like a little bit of a reality check. They maybe aren't as equipped as they maybe thought they were, because it's easy to get yourself hyped up. You got a bunch of stuff you're stockpiling, you're preparing, but you really don't know what the other side is doing, and you're getting angry and all this stuff, and then you have that you have a little bit of an outburst, and they easily control you, and then you're just like, huh. Okay.
It's like going to try and fight somebody and they just put their hand on your head.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
You swing a little and go, all right, that was a bad idea.
It's like a real instead of letting things boil over where it gets too serious. It's like a little bit of steam. It's a pressure release.
It's a good point. Joe says you only do polite wars when the country being attacked has no real shot at defending the target. Yeah, I mean, but Israel's been doing this for a while with the this advance notice, letting Palestinians
they drop flares where they're going to strike.
Right,
and I think it's hours.
Apparently too. Like apparently, this is I don't know. I've heard this, so I don't know if this is true or not or whatever. I've not vetted it completely. But they'll actually literally make phone calls. They would make phone calls in the past and say, "Okay, we're gonna attack this building in 10 minutes or something."
Well, the phone calls is the first thing. That's also why they dropped the flares, because now it's like they don't necessarily trust the people that they're calling to tell the citizens what's going to happen. So we're just going to drop flares so everybody can see. Like Hamas can't hide that. The flare falls on your house, you know that something's coming, so you got to get out.
This is the thing that gets me about these I don't know, I'm going to go into a tangent here. But when people go, "Oh, there's a genocide going on," or this and that. So you get one side will say, "Oh, that they're doing everything they can to stop innocence from being," I got to watch the words I use, but innocence being bleh. And then the other side says, "No, it's a genocide." I think it's a bit of both. I think there's a middle ground. I think sometimes some commanders might be like, screw these, barbaristic people, and they just throw bombs in there, and then nobody's warned or whatever. But most of the time, I think, this is my opinion again, that Israel's doing what they need to do because they're the superior force to give advance warning and all that. And then from the other side, they're saying, well, it's a genocide. No, but it could be a genocide. This is what makes me laugh. You're saying it's a genocide, but they have the ability to go genocidal on the other side if they wanted to, and
that's
quickly.
Being genocided is growing.
Yeah, and they could quickly do it. Like it's not even like they would have to do it. It would take very long. They could very easily. They have the
Get in
weapons.
there tomorrow.
Yeah, they could do it, and the fact that they haven't done it, I think, should tell you something. It's like, but this is a whole tangent. We could do a whole podcast. We could do 3 weeks on this thing, but I don't want to talk too much about that. But I just think that I think, to get back to the polite war thing, I think Israel does what, I think they do more than what's expected, what should be expected of them to, make this as, whatever, as less messy as it could be, given their strength versus their, versus the other side, right? So, all right, anyways, we'll call it that. We sitting there, guys? I wish Rumble was better, so you didn't have to self-censor. It feels like playing a rigged game. Rumble? You have to self-censor on Rumble?
No, Rumble just isn't as big as YouTube.
Oh, that's what you mean. Oh, I get it. Yeah. Well, we were on Rumble for a bit at the start. We'll probably have to do it again, I guess. Maybe, especially if we do a different channel. But
yes, definitely starting up on Rumble and probably posting stuff on X.
Yeah. It's just, obviously, YouTube is the biggest one, and you got to play in the rules there.
You have to be on YouTube. That's why almost everybody, except for a handful of people that got really big checks to be exclusively on Rumble.
Yeah.
Everybody's still on Rumble and YouTube.
Right.
It's just an alternative.
We're sitting there.
Rumble's getting
Robert?
big.
Don't forget the USS Liberty. What's that one? Isn't that the...
Was that sunk by Iran in the 70s or something like that? Or
Maybe.
they say it was a false flag, maybe? I don't know.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I don't know. I might have just made all that up on the spot.
I don't know. Robert's good with this kind of stuff. He's always testing me on things. So
I might have just combined like 5 different things.
if you're right, he'll just say ding, ding, ding if he's right. Okay.
Or did Israel sunk it and then nothing really happened? I think that might be what it is. Yeah, Israel sunk the USS Liberty.
The juice sunk it. I love that he puts that.
Yeah.
I love that you put that. That just gets me every time. The juice. I don't know why that gets me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it a false flag though, or didn't they actually sink it? They actually killed American soldiers, so it's not a false flag. It was a real thing.
Yeah, what he means by saying that they're trying to instigate something, trying to get the U.S. to get.
If they were
involved.
trying to like pretend that somebody else did.
Yeah.
Then, but even then, that's still not really what a false flag
It's
is.
A
false
I don't know,
flag
yeah.
is like the Gulf of Tonkin, where it's something that literally didn't happen, but they said it happened to justify an event. Whereas this would just be a misdirection that someone doing something.
Actually, it kind of would be like a false flag, because if you said that the U.S. faked the tower attacks to get into a war in Iraq, that's a false flag, right? So
Is it though? I don't know that that's.
I'm not sure
how
that's how people use that term. So I don't know if we're using it wrong or not. But
I think it's implied that the thing didn't happen. So like a false flag is they say like whatever was attacked by this country, so we have to go to war, but there was never any attack. Maybe a fake attack. Like they do the attack and they say so and so did it, therefore war. Yeah, which I guess would be what 9/11 would fall into potentially, depending on what you think happened on 9/11.
Yeah, let's not kill the channel. Let's not kill the channel in one podcast. YouTube's like, screw these guys. We're just getting blown up. My gut says a false flag is why we sent that Nimitz class aircraft carrier that's about
the Nimitz is
decommissioned.
Interesting that they sent that.
Yeah,
that's the one that saw the Tic Tac.
Oh yeah.
From the videos that the media went, that was off of the Nimitz. A hostile or harmful action, such as an attack, that is designed to look like it was perpetrated by someone other than the person or group responsible for it.
There you go.
So
it is a false flag.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be fake.
There you go.
Just sometimes
We've
it's fake.
educated ourselves and maybe some viewers. You guys seem to know, but we weren't. We were questioning it. All right, let's get on the next thing here. Now let's get off. Oh well, you know what? I don't think I even want to do this. I don't care. I'm not gonna do it. Let's just get on to this. I'm just gonna skip. I'm gonna skip one little segment that I was talking about doing, but fucking I don't care. I don't want to talk anymore about the stupid war shit. What are we at? We're already at like we're 21 minutes in.
20 minutes.
Let's move on to this. Okay. All right. I guess you're gonna have to set this up. I guess.
Yeah, I say let's just start playing this. We can talk over it as it goes because that's just kind of their format anyway.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know exactly how long we should listen, but probably a couple minutes, and they're having a conversation about fertility. That when I was listening to it, I just had some thoughts, so that's why I threw this in there. So
all right,
let's see.
If this ever plays.
We all laughed, and it was fun, and it was cute, and I have no disdain or anything for the men for wanting to do that. And I'm just like, especially having a kid now. And again, I say this every time because I know people who've had kids younger know this already.
And all the men.
Women are always gushing over babies. And I'm like, man, you really start to see it.
That's funny.
This whole machine state system is imbalanced. I have no problem with women getting careers and being political journalists or whatever they want to do. I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm just saying that there is a machine state apparatus that tells women to be girl bosses is imbalanced. It is not congruent with what women are likely to tend towards.
Right.
I mean, my favorite point on this issue is if you compare North and South Korea, and this is not an endorsement of North Korea's political system, but South Korea has the worst fertility rate in the world, bar none. It's like 0.6. And then North Korea's is like 3.1. So if you're looking at the two countries, one country's population, when exposed to their system of government, gets exterminated, and the other people just sort of endure it. Again, not an endorsement of North Korea, but it's interesting
that... How many of them survive adulthood is up to a question.
The interesting point is that the human spirit is willing to endure literal Marxist terror, but when exposed to liberal democracy, they just self-exterminate.
This is what I said, like, there is an inverse relationship between comfortability and prosperity and fertility. I don't know what to make of that, but as long as people are comfortable, they're not going to want big families.
I don't. Why?
I wish I knew why. Well, there's something about, as you said, the human spirit. You need to feel like there's some kind of adversity or danger, or basically the idea is if you feel like you're not going to survive, you need to reproduce faster.
I don't know if I agree with that, but
a part of this is that children have been.
A good spot to pause there, at least for a minute, because I don't think that that's necessarily true. I think that this gets into what we were talking about last week about the minimum wage thing, how like the relative minimum wage back in like their 70s was like $56 an hour today. I think that there's a problem today in a lot of these Western cultures where it's becoming harder and harder to just achieve that baseline comfort. And it's more and more of a sacrifice to have children, not in the way that it used to be, where it's like now you have this responsibility, and yeah, you it's going to cost you money, but you're going to have the money. You're going to have less money for yourself and whatever. And now it's like, fuck, do I even have enough money? Can I even get enough money to do this? Right? Like,
there's the rub.
Time. Like you could support a family with a one income or one income and a part-time income. Now it's like two full-time incomes where both parties maybe have to put in extra hours every week just to get, make ends meet. So it's like, I don't think it, I think the reality is we're actually becoming less comfortable.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of things going on there. There's number one, you just talked about the money. So there's not enough money from one income source to comfortably live, or even sometimes
for two,
just to live, like not even comfortably live, just to be able to survive. So there's that. Then number two, there's if both have to go to work, there's not a lot of time. So there's less time to do things. So now if you add
and
kids
there's an increased cost,
right,
to now all like babysitters and stuff,
right,
and you don't have the time to be with the kids, and that's not very good for the kids. So like even if you are being what's the word? Fuck, I don't know what the word to use. If in your mind you're like, I want to do what's best and what's right for my future kids,
right,
you might hold off,
right,
you might not want to do it, or you might never feel ready to do it because you don't feel like you can give them what they're going to need, or what you think you need to give them for them to kind of be the best versions of themselves in society.
Exactly. And then there's the other side as well, that if you do, let's say you did focus on a career and you got very, especially a woman, because it's more predominant for men to be able to climb the corporate ladder, because there's a number of reasons why. But anyways, if you're
change this so we're not looking at a white screen.
Oh yeah. So if you're a woman that has climbed the corporate ladder now, and you've moved up to a certain level and you make a certain amount of money and such, do you want to give that up now to have kids? You're like, I've worked so hard to get here, and I've sacrificed a number of things to get to that point. If you're already kind of on the fence, I think you're going to lean towards not having kids.
Yeah.
And so that's a whole other takeaway from that, from the, from natural procreation. So there's all these little things.
How much time do you really have to pursue that?
Right.
If you're really building your career, if you're working 11, 12-hour days, working weekends, stuff like that, like how much of a social life do you really have? How much can you have, to date around? And especially with dating standards, a lot of these women, they get to a point where they're making more money than most people.
Yeah.
But then they won't settle for a man that makes less money than them.
Yeah.
It's well, you're one of the higher earners, so
right.
But it's well, no, I need to, and then it becomes the whole thing, because now you're 35, and you say you're 35, you make $200,000 a year, and you won't accept a man that makes less than you. So you're probably trying to find a man that makes at least $250,000 a year, and that guy's raking it in with the 20-year-olds.
Right.
Why does he want to be with a 35-year-old?
That's right.
And what do you have? And that guy literally does not give a shit how much money you make, because he's probably comfortable with what he's making. So you're not actually bringing anything to the table. If anything, you're bringing a detriment by being busy all the time.
What a web we've weaved, eh?
Yeah, and this is feminism. This is what feminism did.
It's really crazy, the web that we've weaved in here, because there's so many things that you just touched on, like dating. When would you have time to date? And then you go into the whole online dating and such, and then online dating creates this whole immediacy.
It's window shopping.
Yeah, it's window shopping. So I can get a thing that I want,
sort by all these very specific details.
Yeah, but I have an immediate need, right? So I'm like, I need a little bit of social whatever. I need a fuck boy, or I need a fuck girl, or whatever. And you're able to find that very quickly, and that fills that immediate hole for whatever amount of time for you. And then you get to a point where, and let's say, for example, you're a woman who's 35 and your biological clock is ticking, and you're like, oh shit, I want to have some kids. And like you've said, you don't want to settle for a man that's under what you think your value is, and you're a 1%er.
Well, and because you're
good luck.
you're overvaluing the financial aspect, because
right.
Women are wired to do that,
right?
And if you're a smart woman, you're gonna get over that.
Yeah,
because
men don't give a shit about that at all.
You have to realize, you have to realize that the guys you're with, they don't care about how much money you make, and if anything, they're not really gonna like it if you make more than them. But
Boss
even then,
bitch.
a smart man might, can get over, because these are just biological impulses.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get over that and focus on the other aspects of a relationship that you all these other things that are really what's important. Because when you're really thinking about who makes more money or how much money, it's okay, well, are you comfortable? Okay, so then the total number doesn't matter that much.
Right.
Together you're comfortable. Okay, great, and then build out your life from there. And then it's about the, are you as a woman fulfilling the kind of feminine role that your partner kind of wants and needs from you, and are you as a man fulfilling that masculine role? And it gets outside of what's just popped up.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, we're going a little long on this clip anyway, so I'm just gonna tie up the clip. But I would love nothing more than to have the old culture with modern technology. This one thing Tim says that I can't stand: you need to have babies out of one side of his mouth while saying you need to work 16 hours a day. You can't be a good father and work that much.
He's not saying that you need to work 16 hours a day, though. He's saying you need to work 16 hours a day to be in a position that he's in. Right. And you don't need to be in a position that no one needs to be in a position that he's in. Right? He's running a company with tens, maybe 50-ish employees, making millions of dollars a year. You don't need that. Yeah. But if you want to get there, you're going to probably have to put that in. So,
are you saying that, Robert? Shakespeare loves labor lost. Oh, what a web we weave when first we set to deceive. Exactly. That's what I mean. It's like, it's crazy. We really have, either we've done this accidentally or we've done it intentionally as a society, where we've basically ruined all the set standards that we used to just follow naturally for the betterment of our species, for the procreation and betterment of our species.
Old fucking.
Is there an alien? What is it? Trying to fuck with us?
What is it? A metaphor or analogy or like a story? The idea is, at some point, like you have your homestead or whatever, and there's like wolves and stuff, and they come and they terrorize your chickens and your stuff. So you build a fence,
right?
And the fence keeps the wolves out. And then time passes by, and eventually someone looks at that fence, and it isn't. I think it's a smart thing. I think it's an intelligence thing. It isn't smart enough to look at that fence and see that there was a very specific reason that fence was put there, and thinks that fence was put there to oppress me. Yeah. I'm going to tear that fence down.
Yeah.
And then they get eaten by wolves.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's going on with like feminism and
the border wall. I'm kidding.
The what now?
I said the border wall.
That's
kind of like what's going on with the border wall.
Well, I mean a little bit. We forgot why we have borders. But that's what's going on with feminism, where like all of these things, these traditional dating norms, they exist for a reason. Yeah. Men and women are happier playing these general roles within a relationship.
Right.
They more naturally fall into it. But two, the kinds of games that are played between men and women, they like, where like women would prefer to be chased a little bit. Mm-hmm. Men would prefer to chase.
Right.
So it's like you do that, but then you set this whole narrative where if you, as a man, you go and chase, like you're like the most evil thing in the world.
Right.
It's like, well, hold on.
Yeah, it's a bizarre thing, but the whole feminism thing is just a hyper correction or a hyper overcorrection from, basically women's suffrage, right? Where they want to have more rights and that kind of thing, when they just went too far and to their own detriment, right? It's like, I think women would be happier back in the 60s and 70s than they would be now.
Were generally.
I think generally they were
happier.
So I mean, now it's just like, oh shit. Well, how far do we go? Do we just keep going with this feminism thing?
I think the smart people at this point can get over it.
Yeah,
they can see through it. Like I see a lot of women online now. It seems like more and more.
The trad.
There's the trad wife thing. Like just a lot of women are like more just kind of saying no.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of realizing no. Like I would be happiest like as a stay-at-home mom. I want to be a mom and I want to take care of my kids.
Yeah.
I would be happiest doing that, and I don't need $1 million a year to do that. So if I like had a man who like goes and he works hard and realizing like the masculinity in that, and like actually looking at it for what it is, and they like find that attractive. Like, oh, this guy gets up, at 6 a.m. every day and goes and works 12 hours for our family,
right?
And then comes home, and it's like, the smart women kind of realize they realize that how like appreciative and they should be of that kind of arrangement if they can find that kind of arrangement, and they're moving in that direction again.
Yeah, well, the culture, you get a cultural shift, right? Mm-hmm. So you start to see, well, we've been seeing it now with like the whatever podcast.
They hate it if they have to go to work every day, and maybe if they had to work 20 hours a day, but
I think it's enough of pointing out the hypocrisy of things that finally you get, it takes a while for people that are a bit lower intelligence maybe, to see something that's occurring over and over and over. It takes that over and over and over before
they have to
catch on.
experience. Yeah, they have to realize, like, they could be tricked with the whole boss babe thing, right. And then they become a boss babe and they realize nothing in their life is fulfilled. Right. Like, oh shit, I'm 35 with no kids. This is getting risky. I don't even have any dating prospects anymore. All the men that I'm interested in, they don't even look twice at me anymore. The only men that are interested in me, I'm repulsed by. Like, that's I'm referencing a real article that came out. Some women, or woman, a singular, talked about how she, pursued that path in that life. And, when she was younger, she was attractive and, got with really attractive guys, but was never interested in anything really serious because she wanted to build her career. And then she got to that point where now it's like, I might not be able to have kids anymore. No dating prospect. None of the guys so she's used to a certain caliber of man, but she aged out of the group, where that caliber of man is going to look twice at her.
Right.
And then now the only guys that are interested in her, she finds repulsive.
Yep. Go lesbian, I guess.
And so it's like,
get a turkey baster and go lesbian.
You realize you shoot yourself in the foot. And they read an article about it, and some women listen.
We're saying, Joe, to be fair, most people hate going to work every day, men and women. It's because none of us do what we really want. That's a fair point as well. I mean, but
that's because we're so far disconnected from the core reality of everything.
Yeah.
I think that when you get up in the morning and go, farm, or you go out and you hunt, you don't hate it so much. But when you're doing these, our society is so complicated that there's so much going on that has nothing to do with any of the basics, because we've got that covered.
So imagine you're a data analyst. What the fuck are you even doing anyway? So your job is a data analyst. You go to some cubicle somewhere, and you're doing whatever a data analyst does. Do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel like, every day I'm really putting in the good thing, or not? Like, that's to get to your point. It's like we're not doing things that are...
We're so far separated from nature.
Right, yeah. Anything that's rewarding. Like, anyone who does any kind of specialized job of some sort, like a carpenter or something like that, where they're actually building something, they're usually quite fulfilled in what they do. Because they get good at doing that thing, so they're an expert in that.
A thing.
Yeah.
Something tangible that exists in the world now when you're done with it, and something that actually needed to happen for things to function.
So you're saying you love to have a job building computers. It's something I love to do, but it doesn't pay as much as being a cook where I do. But you hate being a cook. Well,
see, that's also something where it's like, I mean, what's the difference in pay there? Like, are you talking a serious hit on your quality of life, or are you talking, maybe you have to wait a little longer, to buy a new TV.
Right.
Like, so, I mean, sometimes it might be worth it to fall into that and try to build something out of that, because, I mean, what's the point, like, for stuff? Just want more things,
Mm-hmm.
That's the trap I think a lot of people fall into too, that very thing. It's all about any more things.
$5 an hour hit.
From what, right? 25 to 20,
yeah,
35 to 30.
Isn't that sad when you think about it? Like, and this is not a slight on you, Joe, but it's like the sad reality of it is a $5 hit means that much because of our society is so shit that way, that everything's so expensive, that a $5 per hour hit makes the difference between you doing something you actually want to do versus something that you feel like you have to do because it pays that extra $5 an hour. It's fucking pathetic. Like, it's such an indictment on our society at this point. And it's funny, actually, if you watch a lot of videos online and that, you'll see that there's a lot of places where you can go.
Yeah, so he's saying 20 to 15, so it's
right.
at 25%.
Yeah, that is a massive
significant
hit. That is quite a massive hit. But I watch these videos all the time where people are talking about living in different places and their cost to live there is so much less.
Yeah.
And they can. It's just the Western society thing. I mean, we are the most comfortable, and we do have the biggest upside to be able to build something and and build wealth.
The West
and all that.
is, for all the communists running around, the West is still the land of the free, relatively speaking.
Well, relatively, yeah, but it's it's kind of, I don't know. I think it's
less so here, more
it's
so
numbers.
in Texas.
Where is it? Oh, you're saying it. Oh, I thought
What?
I thought you were reading something.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. It's funny. It's like,
Once you look at that screen, though, it's,
I don't know.
it's mirroring
Yeah,
that screen.
I know, but I thought you were looking over there. Shut up. Anyways, but
did text pop up behind the TV?
Yeah. I was like, no, because I looked here and I went, I don't see what you're saying, and then I thought, is there something different coming up there?
Mirroring that.
Yeah, thanks, bud. Appreciate it.
It sounds like someone needed you to remind you.
I got heat stroke today.
We both probably did.
It was fucking hot. All right, let's
Our
wrap
pool
this one
got
up.
up to 95
Oh God,
degrees,
yeah, the pool's 95 degrees outside right now.
just on its own.
No heater.
No heater.
It's soup. I considered doing the podcast from out there or something, but we don't really have the setup. You know what I noticed too? No backlighting. I put no backlighting on today. I forgot. All the backlights are off.
Yeah,
So
I feel like it looks fine though.
Yeah, it looks a little hazy. Like there's definitely, it's missing something, but whatever. It's fine. And it's doing the adjustment thing a lot when I move around. But whatever. All right, let's get on to another thing here. Let's do this one. I really wanted to do this. Okay, so if you watch this podcast enough, you'll know how much I like personally. I know Tyler, my comrade here, really likes Clown World on X because they put some funny videos on there and shit. So I was scrolling through today and I found this gem. I thought you'd get a kick out of this. Let's play this thing. Okay, here we go.
Men, if you're still confused as to why we say it's all men, this is why. Anytime I walk anywhere, I get honked at multiple times.
Nope.
I stopped at a gas station yesterday to get me some water and to sit in the shade for a little bit. I had this earphone on. Clearly, I was not looking to engage with anyone. An old man proceeded to harass me the entire time I was sitting there. He wouldn't stop asking questions. He wouldn't stop trying to talk to me. Even when I tried to ignore him, he repeatedly tried to get my attention. And then, when he thought he had it, he asked me if I would give him a fucking blowjob. So yes, until enough of you stop that fucking behavior, it's all fucking men.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. So
I don't
already
think that happened.
This is obviously fiction. This didn't happen. This fugly looking chick is not getting honked at very often. I have no doubt she probably does once in a while, maybe when she's in the way of a car.
Yeah, but probably when she's being an idiot on the road, people are honking at her.
When she crosses the road and a car is coming, yeah, I think they use their horn. But otherwise, no, I don't really think any of this happened. I think she's just living in fantasy land over here. But this is the problem with these kinds of women. You see this all the time with ugly, fat, just goofy looking women claiming this kind of shit all the time. You don't see it with the hot women because that's actually happening with them. They're actually getting honked at and whistled at and cat calls and stuff. But I kind of think that most women probably like it to some degree. As long as this doesn't cross the line.
No, they absolutely do.
Like if it it's we've talked about this before where women like it on their terms. Like if it's a good looking guy, then they love it.
Oh yeah, no. If she likes you, you can do no wrong, right?
Yeah,
that kind of thing. But in general, I think women like to be complimented. That's again one of the things that feminism killed for women. Women like to be told that they look nice when they look nice.
Everybody
they
likes
put
it.
a lot of effort into that.
Men like it. Women like it. We all like it.
Yeah, but you're just not allowed to say that these days. Like you're a total creep to say, "Wow, you look pretty."
I mean, you know what? For me, I get honked at and catcalled, I don't know, at least 10, 20 times a day, maybe 50, 500, maybe even 5,000 times a day. Like it's probably closer to 25,000 times a day that I get catcalled. And I had this gorgeous woman, she looked like Kim Kardashian, asking me to perform oral on her. And I was like, this is disgusting. I'm so offended. Like this happened, by the way. It's in the same vein as this video we just played. So bullshit.
It's always the older ladies.
Yeah.
Older ladies had, when I was delivering furniture, there were some funny comments.
Oh yeah, no. I used to when I was a courier. I used to get hit on quite a bit when I was a courier, and it was fun. I mean, it was the fun kind of hit on.
Yeah, there was one time I was like screwing the legs on a couch, and the lady was sitting there at her dining room table or whatever. She's just sitting there. She felt weird about the fact that she was sitting there and watching me, so she figured she had to make a comment, and she's like, I don't mean to just like sit here and watch you, but like I don't know, I don't really have anywhere else to be, and then she's like, you're young guy like you, I can sit here and watch you work all day.
You could tell she was probably a little bit, she felt a little awkward saying it, but she needed to say
something because she felt weird that she was just sitting there watching me work. But then she said that.
I thought, what I thought it sounded like you said when you said screwing the legs on this couch, screwing the legs off this cow. And I was like, what? That's a whole different delivery, man. I was just screwing the legs off this cow, man.
Yeah. But Joe said something about the water being 95. Yes, the water, the temperature of the water.
Yeah. The pool water is 95 degrees. Yeah. Yeah. I got a solar cover that goes over it so it holds the heat in too. Guess the answer was no. The answer was no. I guess she's not going to do that for that old guy. But I think she should. I think she's probably regretting it now.
Probably.
She's like, shit, I didn't get any other offers. Of all the things that didn't happen, this didn't happen the most. That's funny. Women like to be flirted with if they find you attractive. Of course, yeah. Well,
95 Fahrenheit.
Yeah, 95 Fahrenheit. No, Celsius. Melting skin.
Hot.
Holy shit, man. No, we're using Fahrenheit in this one. But
here in Canada, we measure certain things in Fahrenheit, and like the temperature outside we talk in Celsius, and the temperature of the water we talk in Fahrenheit.
We don't know what we're doing over here.
We're kind of
all over the place. We're imperial. We're metric. We're all.
Just the other day, you were asking me to cut a piece of wood. It was, cut it at 8 inches in 4 centimeters.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. Like football, we use yards, but in Canada it's meters. No. We're just goofy. We're goofy. We don't know what we're doing over here. Yeah. But okay. Anyways, let's get on the next thing. Last thing here. We did get to Caleb. This prod. Oh, I want to fucking play this prod. This one here. Let me just cue it up and then.
We were not put on this. We were not put on this earth to just.
Why can't I pause
can
it?
be ran by Bill.
You don't have money. What's your rent?
Fuck off.
You don't have money. What's your rent?
Don't have money.
Why is it not?
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a lot.
I guess
it's
you
a
can't
lot.
click on this and pause. What the hell is going on with this? Good thing I'm not.
You're the TikTok guy.
Shit. Usually it doesn't just play it right away. Here we go.
Maybe we were not put on this earth to just. We were not.
There it is. Okay. Let's cue this up here. Burp. Burp.
Burp. Burp.
And the burp. So if you've been online for a while, you know who Caleb Hammer is. Hopefully. If not, I don't know. We'll share. This is a dude that has a channel that basically what he does is he helps people get out of
financial audit.
Yeah.
Is basically the premise, but it's like a podcast. So he gets some hilarious stuff out of it.
Yeah, he's funny. He's interesting the way he does it. I mean, he's a little over the top sometimes for me, but it makes for good clips,
it's good for his brand.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I'm gonna play this video. This chick is she's a fucking nightmare.
Put on this earth to just can be ran by bills, bro.
You made the choices that got you in them, though.
It's fine. Bills get paid. They don't get paid. You die anyway, right?
At the end, but do you want the next 50 years or so to be an endless struggle and you not being able to take care of your kids or leave a legacy?
Parts of the world as I go along,
but
why not?
At some point you won't be able to because you won't have the credit to do so, and the kids matter too.
They get to have these memories with us. They get to talk about being stung by jellyfishes in the Philippines.
You're making it so that if they want to go to college, you can't support them.
Not true. They're fine going to college with my military benefits.
They might have to downgrade housing situations. They're going to see their mom endlessly fight with their other mom.
Imagine my babes having a mom that's like, no, we can't go there because we can't afford it and we can't afford it.
That's a responsible mom.
Yeah, when
very
they grow
true.
up, they're going to be like, oh, when I was a kid, my mom took us here. It was pretty great.
They
we
don't
went
learn
here.
about sacrifice, though.
Like, this broad, I watched a lot of this one. This chick bugged me.
Yeah.
This one just, she was so like, she just couldn't see it. And she has on disability from the military.
Was she the one where the clip, that I think I saw today, where he says that she spent $25,000 in 1 month? And she's like, no.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. No. How much do you think you spent? Like 10? No, the number's 25.
Yeah, she went on some kind of trip too, and she spent a bunch.
Someone got the numbers wrong or something like that. And he's like, are you serious?
Yeah. This chick is completely delusional, and she's talking about her kids. And she goes more into her kids and stuff, and how they need to have experiences and all this different shit. Like you heard a little bit, she was talking there, but she goes more into that. But this guy, at least, like, I like his videos. I think they're funny. I think he's whatever, a little over the top and stuff. But I mean, he technically is trying to help people.
Oh yeah.
Like he borderlines on the on trying to help people in their relationships too.
Yeah.
Like sometimes he gets pretty mad at people when they're fucking around in their relationship.
Yeah.
Like where one person is way overspending in comparison to the other or whatever. But no, I mean it's good. It's good for clickbait, I guess, on this stuff. But yeah, check this guy out. If you haven't seen Caleb Hammer, go check out his stuff. It's pretty fun. Ooh. I've seen her before. Oh yeah, what a great memory. Mom had to pee on my leg in the Philippines. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got stung by a jellyfish and my mom peed on my leg. Beautiful. She's just so fucking irritating. Just there was a couple of them like that. There was one chick on there that was it. Yeah, what was her deal? I think she might have been like an OnlyFans thing or something, or she did something like that. And I don't know, she wasn't making much money at it or whatever, but she was I don't know. She was trying to justify what she was doing, and he was of course doing his, the righteous end of it, which whatever. If she's gonna make money at OnlyFans, do whatever the fuck you want, I guess. But yeah, she was spending so much fucking money. She was retarded. There was another guy that was spending on OnlyFans, which was hilarious. And he was trying to blame his friend for it.
His friend did it.
Yeah. So there's some good stuff on that one. Oh, and there's this other guy that was so fucking irritating. He was trying to get a job. He was on there. He was trying to act real cool. He's like, hey man. He's like,
with Caleb, he wanted
with
to be.
Caleb, yeah. And then he was like, he goes, yeah, you need to hire me, man. And Caleb was like, what? He goes, I would never hire you. And he goes, no, I'm good for the brand. I could do good for your show and stuff. You gotta look. This guy's complete.
Oh my god.
Like he was retarded. Caleb thought he was trolling him, I think. Yeah. He was like, you can't be serious. Like, he's like,
lack self-awareness.
This is what I came on here for, man.
I came on here for that.
I want to work for you.
It was funny. Caleb Hammer wanted to work for Graham Stephan, and he didn't
Graham
get.
Stephan?
He's a bigger finance guy on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Never seen
him. Big finance guy on YouTube. He wanted to work for him, and he didn't get the job. So he said, all right, I guess I'll do that myself. And then it was successful.
That's lucky.
And then they did an interview.
Oh, really? That's funny.
Yeah.
He's not bigger than the other guy, is he? Like Caleb's not bigger than
Caleb. I don't think so.
No,
he might be on a trajectory to be, but
that'd be funny.
Graham Stephan's like millions of subscribers, I think. So
actually, I don't even know who the guy is, but
I don't know what the difference.
Now, of course, the algorithm's gonna plop him into everything now that you've
You like him? He's like a short guy.
See this abuse right here?
5 million subscribers.
This is why we can't get a YouTube channel going.
Oh, and he did it on Caleb's show where he audits him. So Caleb audits Graham Stephan, who makes
OnlyFans is awful. The strippers I see now are like early 2000s C Squad, the ones that work the day shift. So I have a hilarious story. I don't know if I ever told this on the podcast, but if I have, whatever. Too bad I'm telling it again. I went to a strip club for my buddy's bachelor, and there was a bunch of us. There was like, I don't even know, like 15 of us.
Caleb has 2 million subscribers.
Oh, okay, so it's half.
Graham
But
yeah.
so we went to one, and it was one in my city where I am, just outside Toronto, and not a good one in general, not a good strip club in general. So we went to this place, and there was a stripper that was literally pregnant. She was literally pregnant. I'm not shitting you. She was pregnant. Like, she's not. It wasn't that she was fat. She was pregnant, and she came over and she tried to to sell herself to us. And I was like, no. And then so I just being me, I'm like, that guy right there. I said, that guy is into pregnant girls right there. It's the groom. And so she goes over to him, and he thought that I had like maybe paid for a lap dance for him. So I don't know what she said to him because I didn't hear it, but he ends up going to the back to get a lap dance because he thinks that I paid for it. And then he realizes that I didn't pay for it because he's got to pay for it. And he was so mad. He's like, I had to pay for a lap dance from a chick who was pregnant. That couldn't have worked out better. That was honestly the funniest fucking shit ever.
Oh, man.
I'm like, I would never have done that to you. I would have gotten at least half decent looking broad that wasn't carrying a Satan offspring.
A child.
Fuck it.
That poor child.
Oh, yeah. Well, where were you conceived? Strip club. Anyways, yeah, good times. All right, well, hey, we're at 56 minutes. Fuck it, 57 minutes. Let's call it. Early today, late next podcast. But hey, thanks guys. Robert, Joe, obviously, thanks for being with us. You're always with us. We appreciate it. We love you guys for being with us. It makes it a lot more fun. Anyone else who has been in or out or watched or anything on the podcast, thank you for watching. If you're not yet a subscriber, do subscribe to the channel. That's the best way to support the channel. Also, look for clips from the podcast if you don't want to watch the whole thing again. I understand. You can check out clips that I'll drop between Tuesday and Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern. And obviously, like, comment, share those. It's the best way to help us on those. And we'll have to see if this channel is still alive. If it's alive, then we will keep going on this channel. Otherwise, we will let you know, and we will be dropping the clips to another channel. And we'll have to see how that goes.
Start transitioning.
Yeah, and then we'll start our little move. We'll start making our little move. We're in the dark today, though. The lights weren't on today.
And
so
the heat. We're in the dark in the heat.
No, there's heat outside, but it's cool in here, man. Cool as a cucumber.
I bet you we're completely fried. Like, I bet you we're going to wake up. Like, when you wake up in the morning, you'd be like, oh, I was way more slammed than I realized.
Yeah, probably.
Kind of one of those days.
Yeah, because I sweat so much today. It was crazy. Again, thanks, guys. See you, Robert. Thanks for being up with us. Joe, thanks again, buddy. Go and enjoy Timcast. We'll see you next week.